You walk in that door this morning.
Deja vu.
Back to Minnesota.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Um, Now it's been about 6 months since we've talked, or maybe like 8 months. I think we talked in January when I interviewed you remotely. That's still been a good chunk of time, and certainly it's been about a year since you've been here. So I don't know. Do you have like a pretty good handle on kind of catching us up from, let's say, last fall to today?
Yeah. Since I've been here last time, which was, I guess, about a year ago, right? A lot has happened, especially in the few months following. Minneapolis was the first stop of my 8 weeks world tour, kind of, which, started with Minneapolis at the beginning of September and ended in London in mid-October. And I traveled from here to Croatia, to Dubai, Singapore, Romania, and then Italy, and then London. So that was a blast.
Wow.
I played all over the place.
Were you the featured artist, or was it with a tour with other artists?
It was just me, and I was jumping around events, conferences, some of them similar to this one, where they would book me. The craziest one I did was a performance on an airplane, which was something, I don't know how many musicians can say they've done that, because it was a chartered Qatar Airlines flight from Dubai to Singapore. And it was only crypto people on the plane, mostly DeFi people. And they booked me to perform in business class.
Okay.
During the flight, which was sort of marked the degeneracy of the rest of the flight, because then,
Right. So it was a public flight.
No. I mean, it was a real airplane that they would use normally, but they booked it all up. They bought all the seats.
Oh, okay.
And they invited 300 crypto people to fly to Singapore to sort of network and pitch the sponsors or whatever. And I was the live act.
What happened to taking clients out to the golf course?
That's very 1900s.
And now we fly them in the air. We fly them to another country and
to
have
another
live,
continent.
Yeah.
So that was crazy. But
Huh.
and since then, shortly after, I had a very big moment in my career where I sold a song on the Bitcoin blockchain as an Ordinal, which is basically a Bitcoin NFT. And the auction closed at 1 BTC. So that was a big moment for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
That could be like in some sort of book, some sort of record book.
Yeah, maybe.
Like not that it's like the most money ever paid for a song, but
Right.
that it was like 1 BTC for one song. Like I don't know if that's happened, but congratulations
Thank
either
you.
way.
Thank you. Yeah.
It seems
was
very
crazy.
pioneering.
Yes, it was crazy, but I'm so grateful, obviously, to the person that bought it, that believed in me and the song. And the song came sort of with rights to utilize it for own things, right? So I know the person has some things going on, and they were like, I can use this song, in a way that will bring value to other things that I'm doing as well.
Okay.
And that's sort of...
They themselves are an artist?
Not exactly an artist, but they work in creative projects.
Okay.
And so that's another one of those benefits that you can sort of negotiate when you're purchasing from an artist directly, right?
Sure.
It could be even, you could do the same thing with vinyl. I could sell a vinyl for a Bitcoin and sort of over the counter. It's a deal between us. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a very big moment, and it took me a while to recover from that moment, actually. And then I traveled a bit more, and then I took the first half of this year to sort of reflect, back on last year and work on new projects.
Does that kind of elevate you? I mean, there was sort of a pinch me moment. You know what I mean? When you get that 1 Bitcoin for the song, where it's like, it's kind of a dream come true kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's such a significant milestone. But then once you attain that, is it like, I don't know, do you see yourself a little differently? Like in terms of not in terms of ego and, I'm the best or whatever. I mean, one could go that way, and we see celebrities go that way. But just in terms of what like how you see yourself as being a valuable artist and doing something groundbreaking for this industry, both in the crypto industry and in the music world? I don't know.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, and you're correct. And maybe that's why I took some time afterwards to reflect, right? Because
Yeah.
It's definitely something that it didn't come overnight. That's another thing that a lot of people have asked me, like, how is this just happening? It's not really just happening. The lead up to that was not only 10 years in the music industry, a lot of ups and downs, but also 3 years in the blockchain space, cultivating a community with much lower numbers, and building a world, around me. And so it was almost like the end of a marathon rather than I won the lottery kind of thing, So definitely I had a moment where I was like, I think I reached that point where, now there are some people that will see this and maybe it'll spark something in them. Maybe they're artists themselves, and the ceiling is now higher than it was.
Did it get some press?
Yeah, Sky News covered it, and one of the biggest, the oldest newspapers in Italy did a big feature on it, a paper that's been going since the 1800s. So that was really cool. My hope was, okay, people now will see this and think that they can do it too. Like, I want people to think that, because I had people that inspired me to go for this, before. And so, and I think the projects that I started working on after that definitely were inspired by what can be done. That would have seemed impossible to me if you'd have told me 3 years ago, and now I'm like, oh wow, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was really getting at. I think that
Yeah.
kind of elevation of a milestone helps you see a little taller, and then you can look a little further and believe in something bigger for yourself.
For sure. And it was helpful for me to see where I was at, right? The kind of milestone that I'd achieved, even though I knew, interestingly, the projects that I worked on leading up to that for the last 3 years were, like I said, more of a grind, if you know what I mean. Like, it was very much like, okay, gather 1,500 people, create a community. It's like a lot more work than interacting with just one person. But while you're in it, kind of in the hamster wheel, you're not really realizing what you're doing. And then, okay, now I sold a song for a Bitcoin. Oh, I see. Okay. That's the value that's sort of being created by the community and the project.
Yeah. And you'd had you were sponsored to come here last year, so you were getting good feedback from your fans, positive feedback indicating that, I'm on the right track. I'm able to support myself doing this. I'm getting paid to play all over the world. But that one big payoff was for just more validation.
It's definitely something that's eye-catching, also just the headline.
Did you get a lot of emails, and did people reach out to you in various ways, social media and stuff?
They did, for sure. A lot of people asking me how I did it. A lot of people kind of like saying, oh, but who knows? Like, her dad's a Disney artist, so...
Okay.
But you know what's...
Haters come from...
You know what's funny? Her dad's a Disney artist has been following me from the haters since I was 18 and I was doing X Factor. Since the moment I started in the music industry, people were attributing my success to my dad being a Disney artist.
To nepotism?
Yeah, but my dad draws like comics. He doesn't. Those comic artists for Disney don't even make a lot of money. Like they're just like illustrators, So it's nothing to do with it. But yeah, it's funny that it keeps coming back. Her dad's a Disney artist. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I think as long as you have dissatisfied people, you'll have envy. And then they'll just say that, just knee-jerk, as a way of kind of excusing their own disappointment. right?
Yeah.
It's not personal, in other words.
No, and I think it's the minority, really. I think the majority of people were excited that something like this can exist for music, because we've seen it for digital art. You know, the big Beeple sales and
Yeah.
a lot of visual art has definitely broken records and broken boundaries like that. But with music, not as much. And
How does that work exactly? Without maybe getting too technical, or if you want to get technical, feel free. But how does it work to put music on an ordinal?
It's relatively simple, actually. It's almost simpler than making an NFT, because Bitcoin NFTs, which are called ordinals, like you said, don't have smart contracts. So you don't have to program a token or a smart contract with all the rules that a smart contract has,
Okay.
and the parameters that you want to set. Not really. You are inscribing a piece of media. Could be text, could be an MP3, could be video, anything, on a Satoshi. So on the smallest unit of a Bitcoin. So it's like you're taking a little coin, a little quarter or a 1 cent, and printing something on it. So that's...
How do you do that?
You upload the file to the blockchain, and then you link it to a specific Satoshi indelibly, like forever.
What if that Satoshi already has something on it?
You can inscribe a couple of times. Actually, you can reinscribe forever.
And then you'll erase the previous one?
No.
No.
It can't be erased. It's all going to be there forever.
But I thought a Satoshi could only hold so much data. Is that true?
The blocks can only hold so much data, and actually you're correct. There's a 4 megabyte limit per block when you're inscribing, and and that's already been like upgraded since a few years ago, which was less. So there is a really big file size limitation there that you have to work with. That's the biggest challenge, really, for any artist.
Because a song is...
Oh yeah, a song could be 100 megabytes if you want.
So you have to upload a lower quality version of the song?
You have to compress it.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot. And even if you use the max available size, which is 4 megabytes, you're occupying a whole block that's being mined. So that can cost a lot of money. You're paying the miner who's mining that entire block for you.
Yeah.
And so you have to make it worth their time and worth them not mining different things within that block. So it can cost a lot of money based on the fees, the Bitcoin fees. So I opted to compress my song. I compressed the MP4 to, I think this one was 800 kilobytes.
Okay.
Which is tiny for a song.
Yeah.
But the genre of music that I make is okay for that kind of size.
Yeah.
Because it's just acoustic guitar and vocals.
Okay.
So.
Can you hear the difference?
I mean, it's going to sound intentionally lo-fi.
Yeah.
A little bit. But the whole point is not, the Bitcoin blockchain is not made for listening. It's not Spotify. It's not Tidal where you get good quality. Or it's not a vinyl. It's a database. It's a storage network.
Do you then send the high res copy
You can do.
alongside? Like, so if someone buys a song or has an NFT, can they have the
Of course.
as well, so that they can listen to the high quality version while being the owner of the the NFT, the song?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I could even upload it to streaming platform, the high quality, standard quality version. But I think storing art on Bitcoin is not necessarily about consuming the art on Bitcoin, right? You're preserving something.
Yeah.
So.
And that one was a one of one.
Yeah.
Whereas your other NFT collections are like, they're not one of one.
Right.
Many people can buy your music.
Yes.
Okay.
I did another Bitcoin Ordinal song drop afterwards, actually in May, and that was not a one of one. It was 500 copies. So many people could own it. It was much more affordable. It was like $20 each, because I wanted to let people in. And,
sure.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, maybe take advantage of the unit bias, or the fact that people are looser with their crypto than they are with their dollars.
Interesting how that is.
Yeah, I mean, I speak from experience. Like, I'll pay I remember, I think last cycle, I was wanting to get into a token, and then I recognized the gas fee was a lot. But I'm like, oh, but
I think I remember you said this story last year.
Did I?
You told this story.
Yeah, you'll pay the gas fee. Meanwhile, you would never dream of paying a fee like that in any other capacity, hardly. But because it's 0.001 or whatever ETH, it's like, yeah. So I wonder if people are a little easier. It's only, 0.00001 Bitcoin for one of those ordinals,
yes,
as
for
opposed
sure.
to, $20.
Yes.
So it's still, anyway, but whether it's that, whether it's just the novel way in which artists can get their music out there, whether it's the fandom and that community that you can reach through it sounds like there's a lot of opportunity for musicians to tap into this world.
There is, if you do it in the right way, because I agree with you that it's harder for people to, pay in dollars than it is with crypto. However, with Bitcoin is slightly different, because whereas like Ethereum, for example, Ethereum is made to be spent right on chain. It's kind of what it is, what it's for. Whereas Bitcoin has all the institutions now, it's the digital gold. And so people don't love spending their Bitcoin all the time. It's because it's a store of value. You can keep it there and it's going to go up, right? So
right, that's true.
So whereas Ethereum is a bit more fluid.
They even say never sell your Bitcoin,
right.
never
spend it. I've had people actually tell me, I'm not going to spend my Bitcoin to buy your music. I will send you the dollars, and I'll send you more. I'll send you double, but in dollars. So I've had that as well. But I think musicians can definitely tap into this. It really just depends on how they approach it. For me, I live the decentralization philosophy. Like, I feel it like it's mine. And I feel music deserves to be, music is my currency, effectively. It really is. It's what puts a roof over my head. It's what, keeps me going, and it's my way of communicating. So if I can emulate what Bitcoin does, but for my own currency, which is music, then I will do it. And I think a lot of people appreciate where I'm coming from with this. They appreciate the philosophy behind it. And I think more and more musicians will start understanding now, especially with things that are happening with Spotify lately, where they're funding the development of AI weapons and everything and things like that. A lot more musicians are like, okay, now like 10 years of my work is in their hands.
From my perspective, it seems like that philosophical attraction helped fuel your exploration of this technology.
Yes.
Where without that, maybe it would have been harder to understand it.
100%. Yeah. I was never in it for the DeFi aspect or the money aspect, because I'm a musician. Like, musicians historically are not good with money. They don't care. They'll just do it for free.
They're artists, yeah.
As long as they can do it, they'll do it for free. That's also part of how the music industry has kind of framed it for musicians. You do the music, we do the business. It's always been that.
And they've taken advantage of that.
Right. But for me, I just want to apply the principles of decentralization to my art, because it's mine, and the people that want it can have it, and I decide. You know what I mean? It's mine. It's something that's mine. So. Yeah.
Have you seen more artists this year follow your path?
Unfortunately, not so many. We've been waiting for the moment where there's like a surge of adoption. I think we've all been waiting outside of the music space as well. Like, the whole blockchain space has been waiting and has been trying their best to show what's possible. So to be honest, I've seen a couple of people coming in and teach themselves, but like, that's not nearly as many as I would like to see. Interestingly, one of the funniest things that I saw when my song sold last year was my peers. I live in Nashville, right? So I know a lot of musicians. My peers were very, very skeptical. Like, is this real? Like, what is it? What did she sell? did she sell her rights? Like, no, I did not.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw,
But you did. You sold rights to one song.
I didn't sell any rights.
But he owns the rights to that song, or the buyer owns the rights to that song.
No, he has a non-commercial like license to it.
Non-commercial.
Yeah, I mean, you can use it within projects that you're doing, but not directly. Like you can't, put it on Spotify under your name and kind of thing.
Or sell it to an advertiser to use.
No.
Okay.
I'm sure it could be negotiated,
Yeah.
between us, but the rights stay with the artist.
Okay.
It's kind of like when you buy a painting, you don't necessarily own the IP, right? You're buying the painting. So, and then shortly after that, there was an artist in the UK. Her name is Kate Nash, and she's been very successful over the last couple of decades, and I'm a big fan of her. And she came out with a campaign where she started an OnlyFans account and started selling pictures on OnlyFans to pay for her tours, right? And the whole musician community rallied around her. Yes, defy the music industry, open an OnlyFans, and I was like, I mean, how do you not see how using the blockchain to fund your career is even better, I guess, because you're doing music, you know what I mean? You're not doing something else, and I have nothing against OnlyFans per se. It's just if you're a musician, you would prefer.
Because she was selling adult content?
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Funny, stuff, like comic stuff, nothing crazy. But
yeah,
the whole campaign was butts for buses.
Okay.
And so I just noticed how Bitcoin, bottom line, long story short, is Bitcoin is still very taboo, for the wider audiences, even more than OnlyFans. Even more than an artist going to OnlyFans and selling adult content. That's more okay than using Bitcoin. So that's kind of still where we're at,
Look, I just did a video, just spoke on this one issue where I recognize the inconsistency with which we have taboos versus hypes. And they want to crack down on vapes and menthol cigarettes, but then they'll celebrate gummies. They'll say no more menthol cigarettes that can attract children, but here's a gummy with THC in it. I mean, it's literally candy. You couldn't be more provocative to children.
For sure.
So what's with that? So I don't know if that's exactly this, but it's the same idea of these inconsistent ethics. But yeah, I guess they just don't see OnlyFans as being a problem.
I don't think it's a problem, but then why do they see Bitcoin as a problem? You know what I mean? Or something to be weary of.
There is a strange progressive Luddite. You know what Luddite is like a person who doesn't want to adopt technology. Gamers hate NFTs.
That is so funny.
So many gamers do not like NFTs. And maybe there's that same idea in musicians with crypto or blockchain. I will say that there's a real strong pushback in the music world against AI. And I wanted to also get your thoughts on that. So why don't we stick with that whole, do you think you would use AI as a way to help you create art the way a writer might use AI to help him or her have a first draft?
No, I wouldn't. And that's not to say that everybody else wouldn't or shouldn't. I think every artist has the right to follow the process they feel is right for them. For me, the process of figuring out a song is the art. For me, that's why I do it.
You enjoy it?
I enjoy it, but it's what my art needs. It's what I don't do it for mass, production. I don't care about producing 20 songs in an hour instead of 20 songs in a year.
And I understand there are songs. I have a friend who used to write songs, And there's a whole industry of songwriters where they'll want you to write a song a day or something like that. And that struck me as insane.
In Nashville, they have
that's where he was.
Shifts. It's a 3-hour shifts every day. So you write a song in 3 hours with 3 different people on the same day. It's an industry. It's a machine.
It's a commodity.
Yeah. It's a real factory. I mean, the whole controversy with Taylor Swift's masters that she finally got back because the private equity firm owned it. It is like they're real assets, and so some people just want to release a lot of them and, like you said, commoditize them and produce it like fast food, mass production, scale. I'm not about that. That's just not who I am as an artist, and I don't judge people that do it or that's their business model.
It seems like AI is going to take those jobs away.
Right. That's why I'm not really worried about it, because it's more likely to replace that part of the industry.
Those generic songs that work. Yeah. They're in the right key. They're in the right timing. They work, but they're forgettable. They're not.
They serve a specific purpose.
They don't really. They're background music.
Background music or commercial, songs or.
It's like, that's a country song, but it doesn't have a good hook, right? That's not Garth Brooks, right? It's not something that I'm gonna really. It's not gonna move me.
They might find a way to move you with AI eventually, but I always think intentionality is the important part of this. Like if you are an artist and you're intentionally using AI as part of your process and you're declaring it and you're using it as an instrument purposely, and maybe even creating a new genre.
I think there's going to be an explosion of creativity because of AI. Like,
I'm excited actually.
Have you seen some of the video content that's come out? And it's only because it isn't like the AI created the story. Usually the prompter, the person who, they're like a director who tells AI what to do, as if you're a director telling the camera person what to do and the lighting person what to do and the actor what to do and what to say. And you prompt that into and then the AI can produce something similar. But people without a studio behind them, a movie studio behind them and 100 extras can now make a battle scene. And I've seen some wonderful sci-fi stuff that would cost who knows how much for software designers and CGI. So anyway, I think there's promise there.
Yeah, but there's also what we were saying off camera earlier, the 10,000 hours, right? There is no way that you're going to make a good movie if you've not spent 10,000 hours doing the real thing by just prompting. There is no way. So that's kind of the thing I hope people are going to keep in mind. Just because it looks good, it doesn't mean it is, and I think the goodness is deeper, someone who knows how to direct a photography director or a cinematographer or a mixing guy on set will know how to prompt better. Like they'll know how to direct better. It's not like every kid on the block can now make a movie with AI.
That's true.
Right? So
no, you're right.
Same thing with musicians. But I'm excited to see like when pixel art was born because of computers, and that's a whole new genre of art. Massive. That came with computers.
Yep.
And so what is going to come with AI?
I think an AI musician, I thought about this quite a bit actually, and I think the way it could work is someone like you who writes their music, right? You come up with the song, but then AI can just put in the bass line behind you, right? AI can just fill in that stuff with a drum beat. Whereas before, so you can do more if you wish to embellish. Now you're an acoustic performer, so maybe you don't want a bass or a drummer. But if you wanted that, I think an AI could add some piano chords behind you or something like that.
If I wanted those instruments, which I do sometimes, I would go to musicians before I go to AI. Because I want them in the song. Like I want what they have to say, because I think it's much more intriguing and fascinating what a human's AI, internal AI will say about what another human created, right, than what a computer has created. I would a million times go to a real musician, a human musician, before I go to AI. And I will for my next few albums. But also when you think about it, I mean, there's samples. Producers can play bass on their keyboard in the studio. So it's not really that different, you know? So.
Yeah, there's an issue of resources too. You
Yeah.
know, can you afford, all this?
I'm
And
a
if-
big fan of struggling for the resources as well, because that's also a way of filtering. Do you want it enough so that you find the resources to get it done?
True.
You know, I'm not saying that everyone, should or whatever, but like I've been really broke at certain points in my life, especially in COVID, but like I've gone to fans asking to fund my album, I've getting creative is not just about your art. It's like, how do I make my art happen? And so there's something fun to me about seeing an artist making things happen, even though they have no resources, no money. Like, they wanted this bad,
Right.
So
No,
it makes it all too easy.
Huh.
So
I really like that. Well, let's wrap up by talking about what you have coming up. You said are you working on a couple of albums?
Yes, I am. 2 albums. It was initially going to be one, but then another one came up.
What does that mean?
Meaning, normally I would focus on one project at a time.
Yeah.
But currently, one of the 2, because my albums are never just like, I'm going to put out an album on streaming platform, make the vinyl tour, whatever. No, there's always like a creative ecosystem that I build around it. So one of them is going to take, I would say, 1.5 years to not just to produce the music, but like to produce the whole thing. It's going to be, not just like an album that I release.
Okay.
And the other one is going to be a little bit less intricate in terms of mechanics, the way it's going to come out. So meanwhile, I'll do that, and then another one just after.
These ideas, these visions, are sort of coagulated. They formed in your heart and mind.
Yeah, that's the greatest thing about not following the rules of the music industry. You can make an album and then say, you know what, I'm gonna make a movie out of my album, and I'm gonna make my own movie. And it's gonna first the movie's gonna come out and then the album, or the other way around.
Have you done much video content?
Yeah, I've done quite a bit. That's just like a random thing, but like, random idea just to show that you don't have to follow the release schedule every 6 weeks, one single, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Comply with the algorithm.
Yeah, these are days where it's all about breaking out of the norms.
Right. Yeah.
And the tech allows that. And I mean that not just with music tech, but connectivity to fans. Has your fandom grown?
Yeah.
This year?
Yeah.
Like where you now have a larger community.
Yeah. Thing is, though, I try not to make it too easy for people to become part of the inner circle. Because I want to maintain the very close relationship I have with as many of them as possible. I really don't want it to become this like millions of fans that you don't know who they are. I don't like that. I want to interact with people that appreciate what I do. So I try to make it relatively hard to where the entry point into the community is a little bit higher, so that you think about it a couple of times.
A little more effort or a little more money?
Both. Yes,
yeah.
Both. So,
what does it take to be a Violetta?
Well, you can't just open
fan.
Spotify and like listen.
Yeah.
You can't. I mean, you can with my old music because I can't even take it down because I don't own it.
Yeah.
You have to buy an NFT, and that's already.
They have to find you that way.
Find me on social media, navigate to my website, understand what the hell I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And then say, do I really want this music? Do I really, really want to spend the next 45 minutes figuring this out? And if the answer is yes, then I will dedicate all the time that I have
how
to
many
that person.
Do you know how big your community is?
It's about 1,500. Yeah. So honestly, if it were, and I interact with them very closely, like
How?
We're going on a cruise together in the Bahamas.
How did you organize that?
I didn't. One of them did. So one of them has enough NFTs of mine that he has this utility, this perk, where he can book me for one free show per year. Kind of what Sam had to get me here last year.
Yeah.
And he got creative with it. Shout out to him, Treasure on Twitter. he decided to bring me on his family vacation with him. They're going on a cruise. And I contacted the ship and I said, can I play a show in one of the lounges?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden we have 30 community members joining.
Wow.
Plus him, his family, his
How
kids,
about that?
everybody. This is the second one we're doing.
Such spontaneous.
Yeah.
I love it when the internet is used for spontaneous,
Creating
positive.
memories,
Yeah, like that's a new. Yeah, you're not just getting together to, go bowling, which would also be great, but you're doing it in a way that is in a brand new way. Having a top-notch artist come onto your cruise ship, like that is unprecedented stuff.
We have pictures from the one we did in 2023, and it was only like 5 of them because
On a cruise?
Well, 5 of our community that joined the first cruise.
Oh, so this
year.
is you've done this before?
Yeah, in 2023. This one is much bigger this year. We're like 30 already, and it's still like 4
How do you
months.
reach them? Like, do you have an email list?
I have email list. I have their contacts. I have many spreadsheets with all their data, all their names, address, everything. So every few months, I just go through my DMs and DM as many as I can. Hey, how's it going?
Really?
Yeah. Just checking in. Like Amazon does, bombarding you with emails all day.
Do you just mostly just send out an email to reach them all at once?
I send an email once a week, and I have a Discord that I make announcements with, and then my Twitter, my Instagram, DMs.
Do you feel like it's a lot of maintenance to keep all that up?
A lot. Yeah. It occupies, I would say, 80% of my time.
Wow.
Sure. But it's worth it. Without them, I wouldn't be
Do you
doing
know
any.
some of them personally?
Yeah, so many. And there's 3 coming today as well.
When do you write?
I designate specific time slots every year, maybe a month, where I'm like, okay, this month, guys, I'm doing this,
And what does that look like?
Just the writing?
Yeah.
Or sit in a room and...
At home, or do you go someplace?
Yeah, at home. And I work with a co-writer.
Yeah.
His name is Michael. And I have another co-writer in Germany as well. His name is Ed. And I mostly just work with them separately, but yeah, we just bounce ideas.
Do you
around.
wake up sometimes with ideas for songs, like a melody or a lick? It
happened. It happened that you dream one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens.
Or does it normally happen when you're in the middle of something?
No, for me it happens when you're in the middle of something else, like you're cleaning,
Yeah.
or you're walking.
I'll hear a song, and then it'll trigger a related melody.
There you go. Yeah.
That happens to me a lot. Like I'll be walking in a store, or I'll hear something faintly in the background, and then I'll think of like something that is in that same genre, and even feel, but it's just a little bit different version of that.
Yeah.
And so it really is sort of stealing from the artist, but it's just an inspiration from that song to something else that's like that. Yeah.
To make your own.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. I would record them in my phone if I have them when I wake up.
Yeah.
What do you do to capture them?
That.
Yeah.
I have so many.
I don't know.
Yes, and then you go listen back the next day, and it's like,
what the hell was that?
Yeah.
Because you're doing it quiet. Like I do it
Yeah.
quiet because I don't want anyone to hear me.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah. What was? Yeah. Yeah. And then good luck remembering what that was.
Well, I'm not a songwriter, so I'll think of them and I'm like, oh, I gotta remember that. And the dream is to one day turn them into a song, but that's a lot of work, and I don't have anywhere near 10,000 hours. I've got 6. So the idea of making that. Well, what I usually do, I'm a writer, so I'll turn that story into something that I flesh out. But you get hit with inspiration, whether you think of a good lyric or you think of a good idea for whatever, a joke or a song or whatever. A lot of people have that, an invention, but most of us aren't inventors or musicians proper or whatever. But
none of us were
anyway.
really born as that, right? We just became.
Well, what do you mean? Your dad is a cartoonist for Disney,
Sure.
so
Sure. But yeah, no, I mean, I've definitely, but like my sister, you know, she's also an artist. She's a video artist, like film editor and stuff. And they tried to like, you know, introduce her to music as well, but nothing. So, but she like became, you know, I really do feel like, because I know I put in so much time, I know that everyone could do it. You know what I mean? Like, no one's born a genius, really. Like, I don't think, even like the geniuses, you know, like Mozart or whatever, they were just, they put in the time early. The Beatles, they put in so much time early, right? And so, it's kind of.
So you
like,
believe a lot of artists could do what you're doing?
I believe, yes, absolutely, yeah. It's just a matter of wanting it or not. I really believe that. So. And I'm not a genius. I'm not the Beatles or Mozart, you know. But a lot of people are like, "How? Oh, but I can't." You know, I'm like, "No, you can't. You can. I did it. I'm not a genius." You know. So
are these albums very different that
from
you
each
have
other?
in mind? Yeah.
So, oh God. Okay, one of them is more recent, like songs that have been written in the last couple years, and the other one, it's almost like. I want to do like a best of between all the songs that I've written in the last 8 years.
Okay.
So I'm cherry picking the ones that I like the most, that I really, really love, but I've somehow been sitting on for all these years.
Oh.
And I thought now is a good time to put them out. Just the best of for the past 8 years. Yeah.
But the first one you mentioned, that is a brand new
project. Like,
and
completely.
Is it going to have a feel of its own? Like the album concept, right? I mean, that has somewhat been sidelined because it's much easier, more quicker, at least, to come up with a song, get it out there, get some money immediately from it. And it seems like fewer artists are able to sit on music long enough to really have a concept album. The way, like, say, the Smashing Pumpkins, I grew up loving them. And like Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, you know, he had so much material, Corgan, that he had a double album. And then Adore came out, and it was like this goth, really melancholy. I mean, it went darker than the previous Melancholy album. But that whole album has a feel from beginning to end. Is that how you see this album coming up?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. The first one that you just mentioned, that's more recent, and by more recent I mean the first song from it was written probably like 2.5 years ago, so not quite that recent. But like you said, songs need to like simmer, you know, mature, and play them. I play some today. That's gonna have its own like thread, you know, that's sort of gluing it together.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna do a collaboration. I cannot speak about it, so you know, I'm not gonna say any more, but it's gonna be a much bigger production than I've ever done.
Okay.
So I'm very, very excited.
You're collaborating with another artist.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Just like the way we're going to package it and just record it, produce it, the feel of it, like you said, and the story behind it, really. It's going to be more than an album.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Good for you.
Thank you.
I can sense the excitement you have
in
there that you can't share too much about it, but I can sense there's...
Very excited.
Yeah. Well, gosh, thank you.
Thank you.
Gosh, thanks so much. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.